Good evening, Jermaine. Before we get on to the drama and the excitement of the Colliers Wood match, I just want to take you back to Saturday's game against 17th place Horley Town. Obviously, Fleet had a lot of the ball of a lot of that game.
Yeah, performance-wise, one of our better performances this season. We created loads of opportunities and had loads of final third entries. And then obviously, carried that on into the second half. And then obviously, we thought we scored a goal, and then, off the back of that, punished. So really, really difficult to take.
And obviously, we've seen recently in the last few games you starting. How obviously don't want to go too much into what obviously happened. So obviously we've gone past that, but kind of what was your sort of reaction? Were you really fully aware of what was going on at the time?
It was really difficult because I think like everyone else, and I'm talking about both teams. Probably by the goalkeeper, everyone was in a bit of shock. I think maybe even the linos. I think I'm not sure they were quite on the same page. So it all happened really quickly. And at that moment, probably for the first time, I had players looking at me, but I was just as a player at that moment, was shocked. So it's really difficult to take, and I've never seen anything like it. But listen, we can't change it. We couldn't change it. But what you did have after that game was a togetherness. And going into this game today, we was a wounded animal. That can go two ways. You can be fragile, you can be vulnerable, or you can be dangerous, and you've got to come out fighting. And I think we saw the latter today.
And from a personal perspective, what's it been like having some minutes on the pitch for Fleet?
It's been good. It's been a little bit difficult. I've not trained, so I'm not as conditioned. But there's little moments. I mean, the other day I probably should have scored. But I've enjoyed it. Probably going into next season, I'd have a pre-season under my belt, and I want to, be able to have the option a lot more. And I'd like to think, I could try and help lead and add some value on the pitch. Today, for being Saturday, Monday, it was probably a little bit too early for me. Just turning 35, it's a bit difficult, and again, like I said, not quite conditioned. I thought it was the right thing to take myself out the firing line today and lead from the side. So yeah, to answer your question, really enjoying it and kicking every ball from the side as well. So and to be fair, taking myself out probably worked today.
And of course, obviously, then moving from sort of the heartbreak of Saturday, quick turnaround Monday night's game. Obviously, a few changes in the starting lineup, and obviously, perhaps not the best of starts for Fleet, going 2-0 down in the space of 20 minutes.
Yeah, change was always going to happen, with the quick turnaround, and we've got a squad that allow us to do that. And yeah, probably not the best start. We were fired up. Warm-up was good, and sometimes these things happen. It probably took us, the second goal to get going. But straight after that, I think from our kickoff, we got a long throw straight in, and I think it was really important the time when we got our goal back. And then all of a sudden there was that belief. Us going a couple of goals down was probably the best thing that happened, because all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, let's get going now. We've got nothing to lose. All that anxiety, there was a lot of pressure going into today. We know where we're at. And again, we was a little bit delicate. But once we went two down, a switch changed. And in this moment, like I said, I think we got a long throw pretty much straight after their second. And we had a chance, and then from there, we looked a little bit dangerous, and then that belief started coming. So when you get the goal, you go in at 2-1, and I just said to the boys, look, there's only one team going to win this. I said, if you lot go out and start like you ended, their first half, you've got a chance. It's a very dangerous lead they had, and it was that belief. And once we got the second, I did really feel we was going to go on and win the game. Unfortunately, we did.
Yeah, and it looked like when the first half came to an end, Fleet had won the game to end at that point. We were very much on top at that point. And what looked really nice, something that continued from Saturday, was the fantastic link-up play from particularly midfield attacking players going onto the forwards. It looked like lots of work that's been done in training, and looks like coming off really nicely in these final few games.
Yeah, it's really good. Our patterns are starting to come off a lot more, and it takes time. These things take time, and they're starting to really understand what we need from them. And we played really good off the second phase today. And like you say, when we come out second half, it was just a matter of continuing what we did first half. We were really good towards the end of the first half, and it was about continuing that momentum. The goal probably came at a good time, And we knew we didn't have to score first 5 minutes of the second half, but it was important that we sort of stayed on the front foot, kept doing the right things. We knew we were dangerous off the long throw, and we knew we got goal scorers in the team, and you always got a chance. And I think once we got the second and equalised, there was only one team really going to go on and win the game.
Talk to me about the hat-trick hero.
He's been brilliant. It's getting him on the pitch. I think when he first come in, he had these couple of injury problems, but that's what you get. That's what you pay money for. People like that. That's what he does. I know him. I've worked with him at Leatherhead. I've got a great relationship with him. And when you've got goal scorers on the pitch, you've always got a chance. And he can be the difference in games, and he was probably the difference today. His second goal, I think, was something that probably only he could do. And he was probably my man of the match today. We'll probably come to that, but yeah, he was different gear. He led the line well in the absence of Lewis, who probably is our focal point. And he won his fair share of headers as well. He's a senior, and the boys look up to him. I've put that responsibility on him, and he likes it. So really, really delighted for him, and more importantly, the team and the points.
Yeah, and obviously we'll come on to player of the match in a moment, but it was probably a hard pick from what we've seen today on this evening. Players standing up in those big moments. Some big saves, as always, from Callum. Ahmed looking really sharp in midfield, working well with wits. And Jack Brewer growing with that experience and confidence, a bit more minutes in the sort of centre-half position, really grew into the game.
Yeah, and you know what? When you can field the same players back to back, you start getting those relationships. And we've been fortunate enough to be able to do them. So you're seeing it like your Brewers, your Ahmed's. Ahmed's played 3 games in a row for us now. And Wits has really grown. He's really taken that captaincy in absence of Jack Howard. I think that responsibility he really does thrive on. You can see him as a talker. We got 80 minutes out of him today, and it matters. It matters to these boys. We were all really down after the last game because we didn't feel we got what we deserved, but we couldn't affect it. And you saw today a team that were fighting for each other. I said, I'll take anything. I'll take anything if you go out there and give me what you gave me on Saturday. So those individuals were really good, and I think we got what we deserved today.
So, as a whole then, how important are those 3 points this evening in the context of Fleet's season and where we are in the league?
Huge. There's no getting away from that. It's been a difficult March, and obviously probably not the greatest start to April. We've probably performed better recently than we have. We've probably got stuff out of games where we may not have deserved it as much. But in football, you earn your luck. I believe you earn your luck. If you work hard and do the right things, you earn your luck. We were hurting, obviously, after the last game. But the turnaround on Monday being quick, the best way to get over that is to do what we did today. We're going to the Baggy League game, and we'll be ready and well drilled for that. But it was really important to give ourselves a chance going into that game, and we can only control the controllables and affect ourselves. And that's the message. So yeah, massive 3 points.
So Fleet Town 3, Colliers Wood 2. Rose to the occasion, as we seem to do always with the teams higher up the division. So it comes to that moment, player of the match, and why?
Yeah, as I alluded to, and I think he was brilliant. Just for the reasons that him being on the pitch, it makes us a big difference to Teo, hat-trick hero, and deservedly so.
And then, Jermaine, final question. Last game here at the Mustard Seed Stadium. Message for the home fans that have come in week out.
Honestly, it's cliche, but listen, 12th man, they've been brilliant. They've been brilliant with me. The best feeling I had was probably off the back of the last result, which didn't go well for us. But the warmth in there from the support, the travelling, even tonight, there was a few tonight, and it matters, and that feeling, and the boys see it. We celebrate. You saw us celebrating at the end of them. So honestly, my time that I've been here, the connection I have with them already, with the other staff and the players, I just want to thank them. Bagley's not too far, so I'd love to see a few of them down there. But to finish a home game, and it's our last one of the season in that manner and that fashion, you couldn't write it. Probably no better way than to be 2-0 down to end up winning 3-2. So I hope they've enjoyed, what we're trying to do here, and we will improve and build on that. But we're looking to Saturday.